What is your claim to fame on Great Eats in Atlanta? Hey there, Foodie fans. Welcome to another edition of Travel Tuesdays for Foodie fans. We are live once again on Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, just like every week. You can set your watch by it. We'll be here. And this evening, I am proud to say that we have an international athlete with us who is also a mindset coach. She goes by the name Coach Chris. And I'm going to let her tell you more about her history and what she has accomplished, because it is a long list. So without further ado, here is Coach Chris.
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you.
Absolutely. So tell us more. I want to know about these, you've been coaching for what, 13 years?
Yes. I've been coaching volleyball since like junior year of high school, and I'm like 31 now, so do the math. And then I went to college with volleyball. I went to Georgia Southern and Tennessee State, and then after that, I did the whole corporate life, but like nonprofit corporate life. I helped start a museum, and then after that, I went pro for volleyball, and then I took a long break, and then I joined the USA team for handball. And that was 2 years, and then boom, here we are. So that's kind of the where I've been and why I'm places kind of thing.
So I'm curious, how did you transition from volleyball to handball?
I stumbled on it at Auburn University. I was coaching volleyball, and I was playing with some of the older girls or whatever. And I look in the same gym, and there's people with USA gear on and stuff like that. And I'm obsessed with the Olympics. So I was like, well, I have to at least say hello, shake your hand, like kudos to what you're doing, this whole kind of vibe. And then I walk up to the lady, and she's like, yeah, this is for the handball team, USA. We go for the Olympics, all this. And do you play Division I? Did you play Division I volleyball and stuff like that? And she just so happened to have played the same sport in the same position and everything. And then I was like, well, jokingly, I would love to be on the USA, handball team. Let's do it. And she was like, no, I'm the captain, actually, and we'll make that happen. And then, like most people, you have to follow up. So I followed up, and I jokingly said, hey, your future teammate, I still, I'm interested. And I got an official letter and note and everything from USA inviting me to go try out. It was at Auburn University. And I tried out and I'm so cocky. I didn't even look up what's handball, how to play it or anything like that. I show up to the tryout, and it just so happens that one of the attack to go score handball is an exact footwork for something that we do in volleyball called a slide. So it was history from there. I literally think I made the team from my like aggression and arm. Like I'm pretty sure that was it.
So the fascinating thing about it is I guess if you had known that it was so similar, that's one thing. But you just took it on faith and said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
That's cool.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt about it. Yeah.
That is awesome.
I do that with life. I'll just hop in.
Nice. We like adventurous people.
Right.
Especially adventurous foodies.
Right.
So now you do something else, the international mindfulness expert. Tell me about that.
that came about, or it's been cultivating since I was like 22, and it's been just kind of, I'm really into the process of how people accomplish and feel good about themselves and do well in the world and feel like you're conquering the world. And with playing sports and traveling and everything, I've had the opportunity to do it in other places, and you kind of just realize that everybody just needs that mental peace and wellness and things like that. So nowadays, I've definitely, probably in the last like 2-3 years, I've definitely been diving way more into making sure that I'm like sharing that information as far as just how to get connected, mind, body, and soul, and be as present as you can be, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's been.
And that led you to an actual podcast as well. You're a podcaster, right?
I am. It's a cast. I'm one of 4, and it's called In the Midst of, at In the Midst of Pod. And we talk about the same thing. It's kind of culture therapy, where we speak on the things that you may not necessarily want to talk about or know how to talk about, or you were taught not to talk about it, and things like that. But we realize that a lot of the stuff that has happened to us and how we feel and things like that are going to stem from what we were taught, where we came from, things like that. So it's just deep diving into that feeling of unpacking yourself and cleaning it up and feeling healed and no baggage, and, you know, just having those uncomfortable conversations that when you think about it, once you learn how to have a conversation, there's really no problems, you know? So it's just kind of getting people to that healing space. So definitely, yeah, we call it culture therapy for sure.
For me, that was travel. Travel actually
Yes.
was my recovery. You know, I had a hard time when I exited the military, and life was just so radically different. I had been going all my life, you know, running and here, there, everywhere. And so when I left the military, and there weren't new people around me every day, and there weren't new experiences every day, and it was humdrum, the same old, I was lost. I needed you. Where were you?
Right.
But
Definitely.
Junior high.
Oh, shut up. But we did find travel. I found travel, and that made all the difference in the world for me. And you know, I think we've been talking about it for a while, and I haven't really made it public, but I'll say it right here, right now.
Yes, claim it.
I will actually have another podcast, and we are also going to eventually launch a not-for-profit to benefit service members who have left the military and their families to be able to go traveling and come back and work on their stuff.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You have to be able to. You have to be able to get away, but you also have to come back and work.
Yeah.
So, and the travel itself is work too. You know, sometimes you just want to bottle yourself up and sit in a corner. Yeah. And that's going to solve everything. I don't know. You got to get out there and work.
Right. The traveling, the actual act of traveling, like the travel day, is my favorite. That's the therapy part.
That's amazing. Everybody hates that. And I don't understand it.
I love it. Oh, I love the process of getting there. You have to fall in love with that so that you appreciate when I arrive, kind of thing.
The anticipation.
And then being in the air, seeing the clouds. You can just revel in it, you know?
When we flew to Sydney, Australia, I kept taking pictures of, you know, how on the plane they have the map and it's like how far away you are and everything. I kept taking pictures of that because I was so excited. I was like, oh, we're only 5 hours away. Oh, we're only 10 hours away, you know, however long it was. I just was excited. I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to Australia, you know?
That's crazy you say that. That's my favorite screen on an international flight. It's my absolute favorite. This is how far we're going. This is what time it is there. It just gets you ready for, okay, I'm about to arrive. Yeah. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite screen. If I'm not watching a movie, it's on that screen.
Definitely. So, as far as what we do here, we talked about it a little bit ahead of time. What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, I love red wine. Cabernet is my favorite.
Okay.
That's what I'm sipping on.
Having a cab. Well,
what kind of bourbon?
Yes. So I'll have Carla hand me the bottle so you can fully appreciate what we have here.
Yes.
This is an Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Okay, I've had that. Yes.
Well, there's lots of different batches, and this is batch B520. It's one of the latest, and it's 127.2 proof. It is. I love a drink that
gets right to it.
Absolutely, but you know what? The flavors. Yes, it's a high proof, and it definitely burns, but the flavors are so beautiful, and. I read a review and they said that they added about 5 drops to start, and that kind of opened it up a little bit, drops of water. And then at 10 drops of water, it made it more like a small batch. Well, I don't want a small batch. I like it the way it is. Right. I might add a couple of, sometimes I'll add a really small ice cube and let that melt in it. Cools it a little bit and adds a little water, but right now I'm drinking it neat. I love it.
That's my favorite way. I'm a whiskey drinker, but yeah, I love a good whiskey neat. Yes.
His super awesome wife bought that for him yesterday.
Say that again, one more time.
His super awesome wife bought that for him yesterday.
Yes. Carla's always looking out. She is the vibe keeper. She's the keeper of vibes.
Absolutely. She does take very good care of me. She's the bartender too.
I believe that. I think we talked about an old fashioned. I need that from you guys. I need it how you would make it.
Oh, well, that's the great news. We actually just signed a deal with someone today who is going to be helping us on some video content, including Carla, the master bartender, making a smoked old-fashioned.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounds good.
And I'll be out on the pit making a smoked brisket. And then we're going to do some other video content. But we're going to have fun with it.
That's going to be the content, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go into the group, and I definitely want you putting your contact information in that group as well. I know our viewers are going to want to get a hold of you. And and of course, now that we're going to get going into the meat of it, they're going to want to know all these great places you've been and how to get there. So first, you're from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Correct. I'm from, if you're talking to people that don't know anything about Georgia, I'm from Atlanta.
I know how that is.
If not, I'm from like the suburbs, like the northeast suburbs, and it's called Johns Creek now, but it was just Alpharetta before. So that's where I'm from. And then I live in the country now.
Yeah?
Yes, which is why I didn't have time to go get some whistle pig before the show.
Whistle pig.
It takes a little minute to get there.
Yeah. I'll
say one more time.
6 year? The whistle pig 6 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Carla was actually going to buy that for me, and she said, no, I'm going to go a little higher. And she got this. So I'm grateful.
Right. I'm grateful. So, right. That's high class Carla right there.
That's right. She takes good care of me. So Atlanta.
Right.
What do you say is, yes, that is my hometown? What is your claim to fame on great eats in Atlanta?
For great eats in Atlanta. See, I could eat Mexican food every single day. So I have I'm definitely on that side of things. But some places that you just have to eat from, there's this place called Augustine's. Best sandwiches, lamb burger, just best bar food, I think, in the city. And then there's this place called Zocalo, and they make great, that's like probably the best margarita, I would say. And then there's Thumbs Up, that's a diner. Gotta go there. That's necessary for sure. Typical diner food, and you get that Atlanta vibe when you have to wait for your table and everything too. So that's great. What else? I just have to have.
Okay, so let me help you out here. I happen to know that there's two places that I would go when I'm in that area. One, I'm going to have to look them both up, unfortunately. I'll put them in the group. So if you are a follower, make sure you follow our group as well. Get into the group. Ask me if you don't know how to get in there. We'll get you in there. But I will find them and put them in there. One is a sushi place. It's in a nice area with a lot of shopping. It's an outdoor.
Roussan's. You're talking about Roussan's.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, Roussan's. Yeah, if you're doing sushi, that's the spot for sushi for sure.
We stumbled on it. It was fantastic. Got to go there. The second place is actually a little bit up towards in the mountains. It's headed up towards Cherokee. It's a barbecue place. And I actually on our travel page, I have posts there from this place. I've gone back another time. The reason I found this place, I had just had barbecue. And yet I went back. I decided to go get barbecue again because this place had perfect reviews.
Wow.
And I've never even seen that. I was like, how do you get great reviews? And we're talking a lot of reviews. We're not talking like 100. We're talking thousands. It had great reviews.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, I've got to try it. And sure enough, it was the best brisket I had had outside of Texas. And
interesting. What's the name of this? Definitely drop it. I have to know.
I'll get it. I'll put it in the group. It was so good though. And we went back just a few months ago. Do you remember that? No. It was just as good.
There's a Facebook post about it somewhere.
There's Facebook posts. We'll get it. We'll share it in the group. You'll know. But those two places are the ones in the Atlanta area that I definitely would highly recommend people go to.
Yeah, I would say so. There's a lot of just gems. Vortex. You have to go to Vortex. If you love burgers, you have to go to Vortex. I'm more of a burger.
Is Vortex the one that's up on? It's the old diner or drive-in style place. No, that's not it. It's a hot dog place, isn't it? The one that's
Vortex. The original Vortex sits in Little 5 Points, which is like it's a very trendy, just kind of natural hippie area, and it sits literally in the middle of that street where you can shop, and there's like vintage and record stores and tattoo shops and crystals, and it's that kind of street for shopping. Exclusive hip hop stuff, like clothes, all that kind of stuff. So it sits there, and then it has its own like atmosphere. It's a huge skull, if you've ever seen it, is the front of it. And then there's also one like downtown, like off Peace Street kind of thing.
So the place I was thinking of is right off from 75. You can see it from 75. It's up above you, and it's like an old
Varsity.
style.
The Varsity.
That's why I got it confused. I heard the V, and I was like, "Is that what you're talking about?" Varsity.
That's a landmark. That's just a place you have to just say you
gotta go there. It's not anything. It won't change your life, but it's a great experience.
Right,
It's
exactly.
Cool place to go.
Right. You're definitely, I hate to say it, but you're definitely sometimes, depending on what you order, you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm glad I came, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But some things are great. It just depends on what you order.
It's more
that
about.
place is known for hot dogs, though.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Just a hint. Order hot dogs. Yeah.
Yep. It's more about the experience than it is about the
Right.
great food. But you know what? I talk about that all the time. Food is an experience. So you can go to a mom and pop place and have a memory that is burned into your head for the rest of your life. And it's not necessarily Michelin star food. It's just the experience. It was fun. It was great. You were with the right people. Everything was at that time.
Right. That's how I feel about Senor Frogs in San Juan. I love all Senor Frogs just because of how awesome that night was. And they left it open for us. We had just come from the boat. I mean, it was just a great day kind of thing. And I'll never forget. And then you get the yard at the Senor Frog. Anybody that's been to that? Yeah. So that's exactly a great example of
I will tell you, there is no other Senor Frogs anywhere that is as good as San Juan, though. I was in the Navy, and I've been to many, many Senor Frogs. I can't say none because I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to a lot. And that one, just the girls they have so much fun, the hula hoops, everything else. It was just a great experience. We had a blast, and they worked hard to make sure you had fun.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. That definitely sounds like the place. And I think I've been before. I've only been in island areas where I've gone to the Senor Frogs, but the yard always gets me right there.
Have you been to Bourbon Street?
Yes. Haven't I? Yes, I have.
Well, I
went on it was my 29th birthday, actually. I went.
Okay. I mean, you got to have a yard on Bourbon Street too, so.
I think I did have a yard. Yeah, anytime I see a Senor Frogs, I'm sure I've grabbed a yard because I just know it's going to give me my bang for my buck.
Well, it wasn't Senor Frogs. I mean, all of the Bourbon Street bars they have their version of.
One of those. I'm into the vacation drink. I have to have at least one. Yeah. Have to have it.
All right, so let's talk about you. Do you cook?
I do. It's one of my things. I love cleaning the kitchen, cooking, wine, music. I love it. That's my thing.
Yeah, I can't be in agreement with all of that. Carla would yell at me and call me out if I said I loved cleaning the kitchen. That's just not.
Oh, gotcha.
I would rather go out.
A clean kitchen before you cook. It makes it super peaceful.
He does have a clean kitchen because before he cooks because I clean it.
See, I have to get. I don't have the partner. That's what I need.
Now I'll go out and I'll clean the grill so that I have a clean kitchen outside.
Right. What are your things you have to have when you're cooking?
As far as tools, instruments, I mean, I have to.
Instruments are do you like music? Do you have to listen to it?
Oh yeah. So I'm glad you asked that. That's actually an interesting question. You're not supposed to be interviewing me, but I love it. So I listen to Pandora, and there's a station that I stumbled on it many, many years ago, called Hipster Cocktail Party Radio.
What? That sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is. Now I've tailored it. I've done the thumbs up and thumbs down, and it has become definitely me. But even to start with, it throws such cool random things at you. I can't even. I've stumbled upon artists that I never even knew existed, and then they became mainstream through the Cocktail Party Radio. So,
You have to have that.
That's a key part. Anytime I'm
Yes.
cooking, that's there. Or if I'm entertaining, that's on.
That makes sense. For Spotify, kitchen swagger is like what you just described.
I'll have to remember that. I've got my secretary.
Kitchen swagger.
Right now.
Your wife, Terry.
Right.
My wife, Terry.
I think it's just straight wife. She does all things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree. It would be wrong to disagree with you. That's rude. Yeah, so I do everything.
Okay.
Where do I go from here? I don't know. So, since you do cook, when you first started cooking, what threw you? What did you have a hard time with?
Hard time with, in the simplest form, eggs. Only because I don't like eggs. So it took me a minute to find out if I were to try eggs or eat eggs, what kind of way would I eat it, kind of thing. So it took me a minute to, and I think because I didn't eat eggs, I never even bothered to learn how to like scramble eggs or anything like that. So I learned that about 13, 14, I think. Just my family wise, we're in the kitchen young. Like I've been doing Thanksgiving dinners and things like that, like forever, kind of thing. I've been a sous chef for a while, and then a few years I've taken over and been the cook, that kind of thing. So cooking is huge in my family, kind of thing. So I would say eggs just because I didn't like them. And then the thing I just had to get, the macaroni and cheese, learning how to make that.
Like real macaroni and cheese, right?
Yeah, like Thanksgiving family, the family recipe mac and cheese. Yeah. I had to get the cheese combo right. That's what I had to learn.
Well, not just getting the cheese combo, but how do you get it in there without it binding? And it's just, mac and cheese is not easy to do.
Okay, so true story. I was probably like 20 the first time I had real mac and cheese. I went somewhere.
I'm so sorry.
They served mac and
As a
cheese.
Southern girl, that hurts my heart.
And I was like, what is this? I didn't know that was a thing.
Right.
We had Kraft. Kraft was good. It's cheap when you're on a budget. I'm not gonna
insulting.
Kraft. But now
Kraft and ramen.
Now I know how to make mac and cheese. I make really good mac and cheese. But I remember, I was like 22. Something I was like, I don't understand what this is. Why did it come out of the oven?
You know what else?
That's true. I would totally try Carla's mac and cheese. I trust her.
You're gonna have to come back down here and visit. And you know what else she makes that is absolutely amazing? I asked her once. I said, "Can you make us some cream corn?"
Interesting.
Because you get cream corn out of can, right? No.
Right.
I wanted her to figure out real. Oh, it was so unreal. She made it in the crock pot. It was just so good.
That sounds good.
That
sounds good. And I have to have her cheesecake. I gotta have some sort of variation of this cheesecake. But I want one of the crazy ones, like a lavender one.
She's done that. I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna have to talk to our video guys. We're gonna have to get her doing a cheesecake on video too.
She needs a commercial. I would totally keep watching the show and watch a Carla commercial.
There you go. Well, they're gonna pull some video from all of these and put it together and get people interested in the show. So
yes, I love the creative space that you're in right now. That's really beautiful. Sorry, I just had to tell you that. You got a lot of good momentum happening, and keep that going. Whatever energy work you're doing, it is working.
Thank you very much. Yes. We do appreciate that. It just comes from the heart. We truly enjoy travel. We truly enjoy food. And when we travel, it's all about where we're going to eat, how we're going to find the very best food.
Right.
So, these are our passions. This is who we are. So we wanted to put it together and share it with the world. I don't know who it's for. We'll find out. Maybe it's for nobody except me. But
everyone has their own audience for sure.
Right. Yeah. We've got a few people that are paying attention. So we're working on getting it in front of enough people for them to decide whether or not it's for them. But
gotcha.
The one other thing that I really want to know about you and being in the kitchen, what are you curious about? Like, is there some type of knife skills or a type of cuisine or something?
Knife skills. Oh my gosh. I want to learn how to throw knives, cut really fast. I want to learn how to do all things knives. I don't know. I'm into
throwing knives. I didn't know we were going there. I didn't know it was that kind of a show.
I'm into them. But anyways, for
we've got an axe throwing place down here. Next time you come down, we'll have to go throw
We were supposed to do that. Yes, I wanted to do that. Yeah.
We'll do that. So
yeah, we'll do that next time I come down. Bourbon and axe throwing. Here we go.
Together, yes.
Together. Can we do
Same
that?
time. We'll drink bourbon and throw axes. Sounds like a plan.
I live life on the edge. I'll do it.
Yeah. Nothing could go wrong.
Right. Nothing at all. Sorry. Back to your question. What was it?
How much of that covering have you had? So the question is, what are you curious about in the kitchen?
Oh, that's what it is. Seafood. I just started eating seafood. Maybe
what?
I'm like 3 years in. So I want to learn how to make all types of seafood. I want to learn how to make an authentic crab boil. I want to learn. I've mastered salmon. I promise. I've mastered salmon, and the good stuff, like how to make the perfect butter sauce and things like that. Like I'm into seafood now. Like, how can I make my favorite dishes that I used to make? How can I add something different into it? What seasoning? Because I'm used to seasoning tougher textures kind of thing.
Yes.
So I'm learning with seafood, you don't have to do as much and things that. And you don't want to overcook it because then it's not as nutrient, like things like that. So I'm kind of learning. I'm learning. But
so
that's been my thing.
The other day, I actually made Carla some ceviche. Some mahi ceviche.
See, that's a talent.
No, not
to even know what is good ceviche. It's not hard.
It's not hard. It really isn't. It really, really is not. But
I think when I had it, it was complicated. The flavors were complicated. So then I forever thought that ceviche was this complicated, simple plate.
Okay, so he said it was the other day. The truth is, it was actually my birthday because he talks about what a good wife I am. Very good husband. Yes. He went out and he made me ceviche. He bought me a cake. Nobody wants him to bake.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I clearly can't think
not his thing.
It wasn't very good.
We fixed it. I had been out all day in the heat. I came home. He put a cocktail in my hand. Told me to go take a shower while he made dinner. You should always drink in the shower. It's awesome. So he made this really nice dinner.
I don't know if that's a girl thing. I think, yeah.
Oh, no, I do it too. I absolutely.
Oh, you do it too? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
The ceviche was so good. Everything was so good. He did such a great job.
Aw.
That's beautiful. See, I haven't had ceviche from a loved one. I haven't had that yet. Maybe I gotta have that.
It was coconut. I can't even remember.
You made it. I don't know. I was in the shower.
I used coconut cream.
I wasn't really there.
Yeah. I made it. I don't remember what I made it out of. Coconut lime. Yeah, coconut lime ceviche. Yeah. With mahi.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm gonna get with it.
You gotta try it. It's not that big of a deal. It's It's really not. It was fun. It was good. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Some things I kind of build up in my head, like oysters. I thought that was a whole big ordeal, and I was like, oh, that's it? Oh, I love them.
Oh, we've got a beautiful place right here, like just minutes down the road from us. You gotta come again. You gotta come see us again. We'll take you, get some oysters.
I have to.
Oh, they are so good. They shuck them right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, I live in Nashville, and the Southern does that, and it's those are the best oysters I think I've had so far. The Southern, it's like off 3rd or 2nd on in Nashville, like downtown Nashville.
Okay. So let's talk about Nashville then. Where do I need to go to Nashville?
In Nashville, you have to go to I eat in cravings kind of thing, like genres kind of thing. So if you want like island food, I love Jamaica Way. If you love Greek food, what's the name of that? Fatouche. Greek food. I love Greek food. Fatouche. And then oysters, the Southern. For pizza, Slim and Huskies. You have to go to Slim and Huskies. It's so good. Vegan options, anything you could possibly think of. The atmosphere, the music, all of it. It's great pizza. For wings, you have to go because in the South, it's like barbecue wings, that kind of stuff. You have to try. Rocky wings, try that. That's definitely a thing. And there's also this place. Oh, what is it called? I can't remember. It sits on Broadway, and it's so good. I can't remember. I want to call it Manchester, but that's like, it's great all the way through. It's like 3 levels. You can get the diner vibe, or you can get the white cloth table, that kind of thing at the very top. That's an experience. Go to Manchester for sure.
So in Nashville, there's 2 memorable places for me. Again, one of them, I think if I remember right, they actually have something downtown as well. But the place we went to is north of the river, and north and east. I don't know what that road is. Once you go
East
north,
Nashville, known for food. Yeah.
So there's a place on the water, and it's like a grill and pub kind of place. And we had this appetizer, and it was sliders made with a sweet donut. Just a little
bottom.
What's that?
Rock bottom?
That sounds familiar. That might be it.
And it has a rooftop too.
Yes.
You can see the water.
Yep.
Rock bottom.
Phenomenal. Now, I've gone to the carnival and had a burger with Krispy Kreme or whatever. That was garbage. You go here and they make these sliders, and it's just the perfect amount of sweet and salty. Yeah. And it's not too much because it is so small. Have to go there. I want it right now. Yes. And then
I love sweet and salty.
Yes. Yeah. The second place in Nashville, and I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I even against what I normally preach. I preach, but there's a chain called Texas de Brazil, and right here in Orlando. But in Orlando, it's a tourist.
They know how to make meat.
It's not that good, but in Nashville, you're going to get treated like a king. Nashville and Memphis both. You're going to get treated like a king. It is so much better quality, and their servers actually care about what they're talking about, and they care about you. Phenomenal. I think if I remember right, that was the first time I ever had 150-year-old Grand Marnier.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
It was good.
I got to drink with you again. That has to happen.
Now, let's go international. I'll start. Okay. When I was in the Navy, we stopped in a place called Villefranche, France.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this road on a hillside, and they had these little, almost like kiosk kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was the Grand Marnier Creperie. You know, anywhere in France, it's so common to get crepes and,
Yeah.
all over the place. Well, this particular one, they were really focused on the Grand Marnier. But the coolest thing is they had these little sampler, the airplane bottles, the small size bottles. They had creme de Marnier and I can't even remember. They had so many different flavors of Marnier that I didn't even know existed. And it was so good.
So we're talking about like best experiences international?
Yes. Please.
I lived in Stockholm, and I just love, like, that's where I would live if I moved back or something like that. I would definitely live in Stockholm. But it's there's a river, like kind of that downtown big Stockholm area, and there's a restaurant and bar that sits right there on the river. You can see it and everything. It kind of looks quaint until you walk in, and it's this intoxicating red light. And I don't know if it's the red light, but everything from there, the drinks, the food, all of it just seems great from there. I definitely would say for sure. And that's where I discovered Macallan meat with jalapenos and pickles. You're welcome in advance. You're welcome in advance. It's so good.
Jalapenos and pickles. What is Macallan meat?
Say it again.
What is Macallan meat?
Neat.
Oh,
what
neat.
Does Macallan mean?
Oh, neat. Oh,
Neat.
okay. Scotch. Macallan Scotch. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard Macallan meat with pickles and jalapenos. I was like, what is that?
No. A Macallan meat.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then when you, with pickles, the pickles are fine. But the place that I had them at, they were handmade or whatever.
Oh.
But pickles and fresh jalapeno, like cut jalapenos.
Interesting. I've heard the pickle before. I have heard pickle, but I've never heard jalapeno.
It puts it on another level. You're welcome in advance.
Wow.
It completely it poops on picklebacks. It's everything.
That sounds amazing. Now, we actually had a guest on a few weeks back named Joe from Primo's in Pasadena, Texas, just outside of Houston. And just a couple of days ago, he posted a photo on his website of a new dish that they have. It's kind of like these nachos that are made with their fresh, homemade or in-store made tortillas. And for me, this is what's different about Texas versus most of the rest of the country. On that plate were these big, beautiful slices of fresh jalapeno. To me, that is all that is what it's about. Like, everything else looked great, but those jalapenos, I miss that so much. I grew up in South Texas, so the jalapenos,
really,
it's so different.
So you've had like great, the best kind of like taqueria food. American.
Oh yeah.
Taqueria food.
I was 5 years old the first time I ever crossed the border into Mexico. So yes,
you were that close. Like, where? How close are you to?
So there's a Navy base, or there was. I think it's still. I don't know. There's a Naval Air Station in Kingsville, Texas, and and it was. We were in Nuevo Laredo within a couple of hours, anytime we wanted. So
that's cool.
I learned how to barter and negotiate growing up. Crossing the border, and then I went back there, like in my early 20s, and it was commercialized. They didn't want to negotiate with you. I'm like, screw this. I'll go to San Antonio to the El Mercado, and they'll take my money.
Right. Oh, that sounds awesome. I gotta hit your hometown with you too. There's nothing better than hitting a hometown with someone like nothing better than that. You gotta find a local. You have to.
As I got a little bit older, we moved to Corpus Christi, Texas, and
I've played there before. TCU is there, right?
Okay, I don't know because I left there still
Texas
fairly
Christian.
early.
Anybody know what I'm talking about? No. Okay, never mind.
Probably. There was a place, and I think it's still there, called Catfish Charlie's, and they had the best breaded catfish and the amazing hush puppies. Oh, these hush puppies were to die for. And then there's another place called Snoopy's that's down under the bridge. You got to go there too. Fresh seafood.
I love names of places. It makes me want to go, kind of thing. I'm always interested in the name. Yeah,
definitely.
I would go to a Snoopy's for sure.
Yes, there's a place in Geneva, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, called Popeyes. What fascinates me is, how did Snoopy's come to exist? How did Popeyes come to exist without, how did they keep those names? I want to know, but Lake Geneva has a place called Popeyes, and it's really good too. It's on a lake. It's on Lake Geneva. It's really good. Anyway,